Hey, I'm Manuel from Steadybit, and I want to show you today the integration we have actually built into Steadybit for the Kong API gateway. But before doing that, I want to show you one more thing. So basically, as you know, we have a lot of integrations already in Steadybit, like for instance into monitoring solutions, load testing, as well as cloud providers and infrastructure providers. But there is actually even more. I mean, there is always more technology outside which our customers and users are using and need in order to get the most out of Steadybit. And that's actually why we have decided to open up Steadybit and give you the possibility to extend it. So we have some development kits available, the Steady kits, which allow you already today to actually implement your own attack, as well as implement some new discovery capabilities so that you actually develop Steadybit together with us. And I want to show you shortly how this works by give you a rough overview. I will not go into the details, which will be covered in another video, but I want to show you how it's actually working and using it within Steadybit. So we have, for instance, here is a discovery kit available as a public GitHub repository where we are explaining all the details of how actually the discovery API is working and how the registration process works, and as soon as you have developed it, how the interaction with the agent is working, things like that. The same also applies for the attack kit in order to support new attacks in Steadybit. There are also some examples available, and also one very prominent example is actually the extension to Kong, where we have made use of the discovery kit as well as the attack kit in order to provide new capabilities for the Kong API gateway. And that are exactly these kind of things I want to show you right now in the Steadybit platform. So actually we have already deployed the extension, which I've just showed you, and you can see that also from the landscape. So going into the table, you can see that we have a new target type available, the Kong services. The extension mechanism or the extension we have developed for the agent has already discovered the Kong instance as well as the services which are running in this Kong API gateway. In our case, these are two services, one for fashion and one for hot deals, which when we are opening up this service basically give you the fashion as well as the hot deals products as JSON. And since we have also made use of our new attack kit, we can also create a new experiment with the attack available for Kong, where we use a wizard, and we can, for instance, create an experiment which allows us to actually change the behavior of this Kong service and, for instance, return a failure instead of the actual response for a specific consumer. So we want to test now that the Kong service fashion is unavailable only for consumer 1. So only one specific client authenticated as consumer 1 will get an error, and all the others should remain stable. We will do the experiment in the global environment and choose our newly discovered Kong services as the target. We are seeing that right now there are two services discovered, and we can specify which service we want to attack by using our query builder. In our case, it is the fashion service. We can accept the default of the impact and attack radius because we are only affecting one Kong service right now, and use on the last screen actually the new developed attack, which is terminating requests in Kong. We can do it, for instance, for 30 seconds. And we can change the HTTP status code that should be intercepted or injected into the Kong service, and also limit it optionally to a specific consumer. Like in our case, it's the consumer 1. All right, let's save the experiment and extend to 30 seconds. All right. So on the right-hand side, I will actually query the endpoints 3 times from different consumers. So I will have one consumer authenticated as consumer 1, which actually requests all the time the Kong service fashion. Then another consumer, consumer 2, which is also requesting the Kong service fashion, and one final consumer, which is actually consuming the service hot deals. We can actually trigger the curl right now for all three, and we are refreshing it constantly every 2 seconds. You can see that right now everything is great. We get an HTTP 200 OK back, as well as the products. Now I will run the experiment, and the Steadybit platform is connecting to the agent in order to inject the failure into the Kong service. And you can see right now already that it has started the attack, and the endpoint fashion for consumer 1 is giving us a 500 with the error message indicating that this one was injected by Steadybit. All the others actually remain stable and work as usual. This way you can actually figure out how your application performs when a specific endpoint for a specific consumer is not working out. And as always, as soon as the experiment is ended, we are automatically rolling back everything what we have done with the attack, and the endpoint is working as before. Alright, that was everything I wanted to show you. Of course, I will link all the details about the Discovery Kit and the Attack Kit into the show notes so that you're able to contribute and work together with us on Steadybit. And also I will link the extension we have built for Kong. Feel free to extend this one as well.